All right, everyone, we have another new album from Converge here. Another new album, second album this year. Their first album of the year, Love Is Not Enough, is one of my absolute favorite projects to drop this year so far. In fact, it is my number 3 album of the year up to this point, only beaten out by The Neurosis and The Boards of Canada. So when they announced that there was a second project dropping this year, I was sold. I still have yet to listen to any of their other albums. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. This release really snuck up on me. It came around so much quicker than it felt like it did. But yeah, I do eventually want to get to other albums of theirs like Jane Doe, You Fail Me, No Heroes, stuff like that. Like the rest of their discography, honestly, I want to get to all of their shit because Love Is Not Enough is an absolutely fucking fantastic release. Yeah, this album came out literally 7 minutes ago. As of when I'm filming this, it is 10 tracks, 33 minutes, another short release from them, another short release. Yeah, the early buzz around this thing seems to be very positive. You know, it's got an 85 critic as of right now. The user ratings seem to be mostly positive across the board for people who already have it in their time zones, like 70s, 80s, stuff like that. It seems to be well received based on early The fucking camera was fucked up there. God damn it, man. Basically, so far, the album is having very, very positive reception, and I could not physically be more excited for this shit. All right, yeah, I'm just going to do this track one, Slip the Noose. Oh shit! I'm gonna get Genius up so I can look at lyrics. Holy shit, man! Holy shit! Minute and 43-second track to kick this off, and it is just all of the adrenaline I could expect from the previous album being injected into my fucking veins. Like that. Holy shit. I did a request stream earlier, and we listened to, like, this hardcore punk album. It was by, like, the guys who went on to be in Nails. What was the name of that album again? Yeah, it was Carry On, A Life Less Plagued. And this track immediately has given me like a similar level of energy. It's not a hardcore punk track, obviously. It's more metal leaning. Yeah, this has given me that same energy where it's just a minute and 43 of just straight adrenaline, no holds barred, no like seconds to breathe. It is just all in, balls to the walls, ridiculously heavy. I am feeling a high 8 on this opener. Good shit. It's more straightforward. Yeah, it's definitely immediately more straightforward than what they were doing on the previous album, but I kind of don't mind. It feels like this is kind of just like, I'm going to guess this album is going to be a fun side piece to that album. Like, that album is like the album where they're going all in on trying to make, you know, a fucking incredible, well-groomed, very thoughtful, well-structured album. I'm guessing that this, by comparison, would likely just be some fun shit to go with it. That's kind of what I'm getting from this opener here, and it's very fun. It's very fun. Oh, next we have Doom is Bloom. Oh, sorry, Doom in Bloom, not Doom is Bloom. Everyone doing a serious, then a fun album? Yeah. This was the second single for this album. I don't think I listened to this. It's so sludgy. It's so disgusting. Oh my fucking god, this shit's immediately, like, this sounds just as good as the other fucking album did. It's just absolutely grotesque and vile. This shit sounds horrendous in the best way possible. Yeah, absolutely. Chat, is this tough? I'm listening to Converge and drinking out of a South Park mug. Is this tough? Dude, these guitar parts are so fun. They're so fucking silly. Whoa. Got a fucking shaker in there? Such a fucking fat snare sound. Jesus Christ. Damn, I love those fucking guitar parts on this track. They're so, like, stupid and insane and silly. They got like this weird twangy southern quality to them that just makes them sound absolutely ridiculous. And I love it. I love that this track is not afraid to be just ridiculous. Again, it's sludgy, it's nasty, it's vile, it's not pleasant sounds that you're being presented, but it's very fun. It's so fucking fun. It feels like watching a campy but super like violent and gory horror film, you know. That's essentially what I would equate this to. It's so much fun, but what you're being presented is actually quite disgusting, you know. I'm feeling a low 9 on this. Holy shit. Yeah, this is getting the blood pumping immediately with these first 2 tracks. I mean, I have absolutely no complaints so far. Yeah, this was produced once again by Kurt Ballow. My second album produced by Kurt Ballow that we're listening to today. We also had again that the Carry On album was also produced by Kurt Ballow. Up next we have It Only Gets Worse. Transition. Dude, this shit is disorienting. Oh my god. Yeah, that 7/8 is just throwing me off so much. Oh. This shit's so good. Oh my god, man. That fucking fill, holy shit. That's so fun. It's a solid 9. Wow. That track was disorienting. The way that the 7/8 is used there to make this song literally feel like you are unable to catch your breath. The song's talking about, you know, living in a sink or swim world. You know, there's no one helping you. You either sink or you either swim or you drown as your blood gets poured out into the sea. The way they use the 7/8 here to actually create that panic, like you are drowning, everything feels so off kilter and so staggered. That's how you use a time signature to emphasize the messaging of your song. That was fucking amazing. Actually, like one of the better interesting time signature uses I've heard in metal recently. That was great. Holy shit, man. Yeah, this album is bringing the same fire that the last album did. I would argue it's like even more aggressive. The last album was more contemplative and had a couple more like intimate moments. This is just blazing fast, rageful. Like this album is pissed off, you know. Detonator up next. Oh yeah. For a band that's been going for 30 years, and how many albums now? 6, 12, 14 albums since 1994. They've been going for 30 years and are 14 albums deep, and this is just as fiery as I would expect a band to be on album 3, you know? This shit is inexplicably excellent. This band have not lost their drive, they have not lost their fire, they have not lost their power, none of it. This shit is still just as energetic as I would expect a metal band to be only a handful of albums deep. There are OGs, yeah, these motherfuckers have been going 32 whole ass years. Well, their first demo came out in 91, so I guess 35 years. It's so fucking hype, man, oh my god. Dude, this album is fucking brutal. Another just, like, solid 9. Like, how do you put out 2 back-to-back incredible metal albums in a year? Man, I was going to talk about how, the album isn't as lyrically deep as, you know, Love Is Not Enough. And here, I'm being proven wrong. This is a track that is getting into being in a state where you are on the brink of giving up. Like, sometimes the agony is just too much. I do not want to hurt. I never thought that I would be too late. Don't be blown apart by your mistakes. It's a track that feels like a fucking cautionary tale of this guy letting the things he's done wrong eat at him so much to the point where he A, can't fix it, and B, can't escape. And he is just on the verge of snapping. Like, the lyrical depth is still there. It's not as politically charged. It isn't just like exploring themes of religion or anything like that. But the fact that we're getting something that is more personal here and it feels just as biting and just as engaging as the shit on the previous album. I'm fucking impressed. I'm so impressed. This shit is absolutely excellent. Like, we're 4 tracks in, and this is like just as good as the other album. It won't let you go. This was in Cyberpunk? My heart is racing right now. This album is actually fueling me with so much fucking adrenaline. I feel like I could fucking go for a sprint while listening to this. Holy shit, that transition. I'm going to run that back in a sec. That track actually spoke to me on a more personal level. Looking through these lyrics here, I want to be the better me that you deserve to finally see. The dullest blade sharpens the truth that every day I'm losing you. There's no easy way to say, there's nothing left to save. I've destroyed everything. That feeling of any form of relationship with someone where you feel as if it's being ripped apart because you are in a darker place, because you are not your best self in the moment, and feeling something slowly slipping away from your grasp and you have absolutely no way of fixing it. That shit cuts so deep. That writing is fucking brutal. The fact that it's just repeated, 3 times? And then it goes into like that final verse. I'm so timid to us, flinch at the slightest touch, resistant to pure love, how deep dysfunction cuts, how far can violence reach to find the missing key, living in fear of vulnerability. Like, this writing is fucking brutal, man. Holy shit. Another low to solid 9. I may even go as far as to say I'm liking this more than Love Is Not Enough. Like, genuinely. Like, a little bit more. It's tough. They're close. They're very close. But, like, the first half of this album has genuinely been like a little bit above the previous album. I'm going to run that back so we can hear that transition again. Oh shit. I thought it was going to go into like some crazy like punky beat or something like that, but no. There we go. Dude. Shit. Oh my god. It's actually like, this music is actually fucking like overstimulating me. Oh my god. There's so many moving parts to this, and it's so fucking chaotic. It's like my brain is moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour while listening to this shit. It's like musical crack. Jesus Christ. Interesting that each phrase is 5 groups of 4, which gives it an uneven feeling even though it's still in 4. That's really strange. This, like, listen, there is music that is overstimulating to me in a bad way, you know? That's why there's a lot of, like, super overproduced metal that I don't like, lots of very over-the-top hyper-pop that kind of gets a bit much for me. This is overstimulating in the fact that it's making my mind race at 1,000,000 miles a minute to keep up with the track, but I actually am, like, trying to keep up because it sounds as incredible as it does. This is fucking ridiculous. It's like they have one-upped themselves from already one of my favorite albums of the year. Like, it's brutal and it's nasty, but the band are having so much fun with the way they're fucking with these like formulaic song structures and like slightly messing with them to make them so disorienting and mind-melting. Oh my god. High 9. Dream Debris up next. Like, immediately I'm being given the best sounding percussion I've ever heard in my life. Well, maybe not in my life. That's obviously, you know, an exaggeration, but still, this shit sounds amazing. I love how loose these tom heads are, man. I love how loose they are. They make the drums sound so like, I don't even know what the word, like flappy. I don't know what the word I would use to describe is, but these loose drum heads provide such a nasty, sludgy, resonant sound, and the recording is so raw. Oh, I fucking love this drum recording. It's the best bass tone ever. The best bass tone ever. And it's just letting you sit in it as... Oh my god. Holy shit, that restraint had me on the edge of my seat. Goes around again. I really wants to ratchet that tension. You know, I think this song is amazing. I think it's my least favorite so far. It's a great track, but it's my least favorite so far. A great track. I'm feeling a solid 8 on this. Seriously. I think that just the instrumental prowess of this song is fucking brutal. The slow chugging riffs, the grand presentation. I got absolutely no complaints about this track on an instrumental front. I'd say it's maybe a contender for the strongest instrumental we've gotten so far. It is just so unrelentingly fucking punishing. And it doesn't let you breathe for a single second besides the one little bit where the song fully fucking cuts out. The little bit of a drawback for this track for me is I am not crazy on the lyrical content here. I think that the writing here leaves a little bit to be desired, as it doesn't feel like it really dives into enough depth as to what exactly... I don't know, it just doesn't dive into enough depth. I don't even need to over-explain myself. It feels like there is an interesting lyrical concept here about people made out of debris, people made out of the fucking rubble of what came before them, and being forced into the shittiest situation possible. But I do also think that they could have explored it in a way that was a little less straightforward. I feel like it really could have been explored in way more depth, as a lot of the imagery here feels quite surface level, and I wasn't really able to connect with what was being said due to that. It felt like, in comparison to previous tracks that have had such brutal, such cutting lyricism, here it just felt like, okay, I hear what you're saying and I understand what the track's about, but there's not much being done in the way of expanding upon it in a way that makes it hit as hard as it should. So yeah, solid 8, because the instrumental's fucking incredible, but I wish that the lyrical content was there too. You got your first track that I have even an issue with, and it's like, it's still an incredible fucking song, so is what it is. And next we have It Used to Matter. Pick a choice. 1, why are you reading lyrics? 2, not focusing on lyrics enough. Yeah, this one's just an instrumental. Interesting. Melodic percussion along with this, and a fucking gong. This is Godspeed You Black Emperor. Excellent transition indeed. Alright, before we get into Hum of Hurt, which I already know is a great song, solid 7 on that. A nice instrumental. A cool transitional piece. Yeah, I don't know. Outside of that, it's not the type of track I'd come back to. It feels necessary to the album, would not skip it in context of the album, but as is, it's a nice enough spacey instrumental, but not, like, mind-blowing or anything like that. Why would I even rate that one? I mean, it's a 2.5-minute instrumental. It's like, you know, a minute off of being... I was about to say it's a minute off of being 10% of the album. That's correct. No, my maths is correct. Anyway, next track we have Hum of Hurt. This is the lead single, and I already know this song fucking slaps. I forgot how good this fucking drop was. Drop. Explosion. The way that shit slowly descends and starts twisting. You don't even know what a good drop is. Proceeds to play theme. Whoa. I forgot, dude. Good transition into Nothing Is Over as well. Yeah, it's been a minute since I listened to that one. I forgot just how batshit insane a lot of the sections of that track get. Yeah, that's honestly, I would up my score on that song to a 10. I think that's such a great single, but also such a great, I guess, centerpiece for this album. Such a great, I guess, defining moment on this project. I think that song provides every single possible one-up of everything we've been presented on the album so far. It feels like it has the best vocal interplay on the entire album. It feels like it has the strongest riffing, the most insane drop on the entire project as well. I feel like everything there is just so brutal and punishing. I don't really see how that track could possibly be better. Genuinely. Like, deadass, I think that was just fucking immaculate. Final song, Nothing Is Over. Oh shit! Well, there you go. They kind of rolled up all of the lyrical themes explored in the last album into one in just those 4 lines. Bureaucracy aims to colonize insight. Theocracy seeks to enslave the mind. Technology is deceiving our eyes, and autonomy is the fight of our lives. That's literally like literally everything explored in the previous album. In 4 lines there. Holy shit. I mean, it's a great way of bringing some of that political boldness over to this one. Definitely fits with the theme that this is far more straightforward, yeah. Sounds like a build on a fucking Swans track. Like, it literally feels like one of the more tense moments on, like, The Glowing Man or something like that, dude. Damn, and it just closes it off like that. No resolution, no moment where everything clicks into place. It just violently rips you out of the album when it's done. Damn near perfect closer right there. Solid, yeah, solid to high 9 for me as well. Yeah, that track, the way it brings over more of the political boldness of the previous album, talked about bureaucracy, theocracy, technology, and autonomy all in one single fucking verse. Sort of feel like it's inciting a fucking revolution. Get up now, nothing's over. We must run deep into the night. Wake up now, do not cower. They have come for the glow inside. And this track is just, it feels like it's inciting a fucking riot. It feels like it is the spark that is gonna set the entire fucking world on fire, dude. This track is absolutely mental. An insane way to close off this album. The tension that's built in that, obviously, that you have the first 2/3 of the track that are just this consistent snowball effect, and then it kind of pulls out in that section that feels very like Glowing Man era Swans-esque in the way that those guitars are kind of like doing that really cool, very distorted tremolo thing. The cymbals are being panned all the way around, and then it punches right back into that exact same riff, but it feels like it's a million times larger due to it sounded like some extra layered vocals in there. It sounded like the tempo may have increased a little bit. I couldn't quite tell because my head was rushing all over the place, but there was just like a little incremental changes that made it feel a million times larger, and that was all this track needed to have such an incredible, gorgeous finish. Yeah, this is a fucking incredible way to close an incredible album. Holy shit, man. Yeah, that was Hum of Hurt by Converge. They're 2 for 2 this year. I don't expect we'll get another album. That would be insane if we did. But yeah, they have released 2 projects now that are handily in my top 5 of the year. This album is a little more straightforward than the last album, sure, but what it lacks in experimentation, it makes up for in just sheer brutality, in sheer just nastiness, man. This album's fucking nasty. It's sludgy, it's gross, it feels genuinely uncomfortable to listen to at points because of just how grimy the guitar and bass tones are, just how loose and out of tune the drums sound at points. Everything here feels like it's designed to set you in the most just hellish environment, and it's so fucking fun at the same time. They are having so much fun taking these formulaic song structures and slightly fucking with them, adding crazy amounts of tension, adding the most mental, raw, sloppy production on top, and I mean sloppy in a good way, to make this just such a fun ride, man. I loved basically every single second of this. Not a single moment in the track list that lulls. Even the 2.5-minute instrumental piece feels so imperative to leading into the title track, which feels so imperative to leading into the final track. Like that 3-track run, even though I wasn't in love with the instrumental track as a song, it feels like it feels so important to the flow of those 3 songs, you know? And there's so many little things like that, whether it's the under 2-minute opener that is just pure adrenaline being shot directly into your veins, or if it's a track like It Only Gets Worse or Detonator that are just so unforgiving and punishing that it feels like it's difficult to stomach. A track like Dream Debris that sees the band going for something more ambitious, and while I do have my minor gripes with that track, they pull it off pretty excellently for the most part. I'd still give that track a solid 8. Yeah, this is another absolute win. Another absolute gigantic win for the band. 2 of them in a single year. That is something that they should absolutely be proud of. They have put out 2 just absolutely masterful projects, 2 albums that I think by the end of the year, both of them will likely end up within my top 10, if not top 15. This is some pretty incredible shit right here. Some pretty incredible shit. I'm going to run the numbers, and then I will tell you what my overall score for this album is. I'm feeling a 9.2 out of 10 on this album, which places it 2 decimal points above Love Is Not Enough and puts it as the new number 3 of the year, followed by Love Is Not Enough at number 4 of the year. I mean, this band are taking up number 3 and number 4 of the year so far for me. That's a hell of a fucking run that they're on right now. Yeah, if this video does well, if there is demand for it, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do albums like Jane Doe, You Fail Me, No Heroes. I also kind of want to listen to Axe to Fall and All We Love We Leave Behind, because those 2 albums are also incredibly well received, so I'm interested to see what those are like. I am excited to now go back through their catalog and see what the journey to this point was like, get to see the different eras and phases of the band. These 2 albums this year were excellent, and if we do end up getting another one, I'm going to be there fucking midnight the night it drops, just like this one. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how it compares to other Converge albums for you. How does it compare to the other album they released this year specifically? Which of the 2 do you prefer? You can check out my reaction to that somewhere on screen over here. Like and sub if you haven't. We are on our way to 5k. Links in the description to my Discord, my album of the year, my Twitter, my other channels, my Instagram. Check those out if you haven't, and I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye bye.